Hi guys, Laura here. Let me first start off by saying that thank you for tuning into my video and watching my video. And if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, like, and comment. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry it's been a bit since I posted my last video. To be honest, I was just dealing with a bit of a depression, got a little more depressed than I usually do, and then I've been working more, so I'm sure you guys know sometimes it's just a little tough to find the time, but I can promise you guys I will never go super long without putting new videos up. So my pattern seems to be like usually every week. Most of the time every week, but there have been periods where it's been like every 2 weeks. So my apologies. And okay, sorry, my voice went off for a minute there. Then yeah, so welcome to this video. And so I had to make this video to talk about, like, wow, okay, so this time I read it on Facebook before I watched Rick's program, Rick Farron, that the really big news from the Jehovah's Witnesses world, probably I would say one of the biggest news developments for this year, if not the biggest development for this year, I would say. Yeah, no more reporting on their hours in service. Wow. No more reporting hours in their field service ministry. Wow. Yeah, there was an announcement made. And it's like, wow, an announcement, the gist of it, starting November 1st, they no longer have to report hours or Bible studies or how much literature they placed or how many videos they showed. They just have to check a box that they did take part in a ministry that month. And it's now only the circuit overseers and like regular and auxiliary pioneers that have to report on hours. So yeah, I think I try to look at the angle of, like, I'm going to give my thoughts of like how I think the Jehovah's Witnesses would feel, and then how the governing body would feel. I think a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses would honestly have a big sigh of relief, to be honest, that they don't have this pressure to get out and service so much. You know, like over the years, like how many falsely reported their hours anyways on each month, like fudged their hours, and I think I think frankly just a lot of them will be relieved from not having to go out and service nearly as much. So I wonder if that might develop into an issue. We'll have to see. Well, I think it's becoming an issue in the past few years anyways, because they had to lower the hour requirement to get more to pioneer, like. So yeah. And as for my thoughts on the governing body, why would they do that? Like, say you don't have to report your hours anymore. A few things come to my mind. The first is, like, they stopped reporting, like, they stopped printing yearbooks, and they're trying to hide more of their annual report of numbers, like, of their numbers worldwide. Like, so they're always trying to make it look like there's more publishers and getting more hours than there really are. I think they're trying to hide the fact that their numbers are dropping, and they know it, so they'd rather hide it than admit it. Another thing I can think of is they like, I was thinking about it earlier. Another thing I was thinking of, that the governing body could try to twist and manipulate this into a good thing, like by telling the brothers that were, sisters that were, like, we're giving you guys a break. You don't have to report your hours anymore. We know how stressful it is with the times that we live in now, and how a lot of you, like, have to work more, and, so here you go to help out. This is what we're doing to help you out. Like, really put, like, a positive spin on it while hiding their deception of what's really going on. Yeah, typical of them, eh? The third thing I can think of is that I wonder if this might be part of their connection with the Hailstone message, the special preaching campaign of the Hailstone message. Because for Jehovah's Witnesses, like, the Hailstone message would be like a very important thing, and then I think naturally that would mean that these less hours in that are all, like, some Jehovah's Witnesses, I think the understanding would be that the preaching work is actually winding down and coming to a close. So not having to report your hours anymore and then lower hours for pioneers would make sense to them. Except there's going to be a lot of shock and disappointment when the end doesn't actually happen. But for all of us who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses anymore, I think that will be that's like just another nail in the coffin for them, really. So yeah, it's all, and just like any personal thoughts or opinions I can have, kind of irks me, if that makes sense. Like, let me explain. All the years I was a witness and we had hour requirements, oh man, how many times did I stay out to put in the extra hours, and even do letter writing and phone witnessing, any way to try to get more hours. I had so many years I was in, you had to get, like, if I'm not mistaken, I could swear it was 8 hours at one time and not 10 that they expected most publishers to get in order to still be counted as active members. Like, it was just like a lot more value placed on how many hours you could get each month. And counting time, oh man, so part of me is like, oh yeah, so of course now after I leave, and that's when they start, and that's when they finally, okay, the hours aren't so important anymore. Wow. think, but then it just makes me realize how just what the Jehovah's Witnesses are slowly becoming is a cult that, like, I don't recognize it that much anymore. I think they're definitely sinking in a bad way, but in a good way also, because I really think and hope that their days are numbered, that they don't have too much time left altogether, before so many people will be out, and the Jehovah's Witnesses will just not have the power and control and to be able to deceive in so many minds and take them away from the real truth of the Bible. I'm looking forward to that time. Because they're not correct. They're not correct. They're wrong, just like Scientology, just like the Mormons, just like Seventh-day Adventists. They don't have it right. It'll be interesting to see too, because I think no hour requirement, wouldn't that mean, like, couldn't it eventually get harder to get people to get their members to go out in service, because you don't have no hour requirement? That means, like, there's a lot of people that could just pass up just pass up going out in service a lot less in general than they used to, like, and how are they going to keep track of, like, the ones who do go out in service? Like, there's going to be, like, service groups and nobody shows up, and does this mean, and in connection with one thing I mentioned earlier, does this mean you could still be considered an active member if you have 0 hours in the field ministry? Well, I think it might be having an effect already, because I haven't seen them as much out preaching or the carts as much as I used to. I have been seeing less of them, like not spotting any as often. So I think a lot might be like skipping service already, and just not going out as much. But I think a lot of them don't really like it to begin with, so it's easy to yeah, always one of the first things that I can think of that I'm so happy that I don't have to do anymore. So yeah, I think it's just more nails in the coffin, ultimately, for the Jehovah's Witnesses. So, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys all have a good week. Thanks for watching. Bye.